when I was 20 years old. I'm 44 now. I'll be 44 tomorrow. I had a girlfriend. We had a bad episode, and she ran me off the road, and we crashed, and I broke these two bones. I forgot what they're called in my left arm, and broke up. Sad. I was depressed. Drinking, smoking weed at the time, and I started getting sleep paralysis. Well, I started, to be like paralyzed where I could see everything around me, but I felt like I couldn't move my body, and I felt like I was almost asleep. And I thought I was going crazy for a while. I was hearing noises, like clanging noises. I worked for my parents. They had a business, like a used bookstore, and the two aisles, and I would hear the door open. It'd be like ding, and I'd wake up and, hey, how you doing? And one time I remember just laying there, and I would hear like clanging noises. So I was in, not this room, it was my brother's, used to be my brother's room. I was in my room, and I had a bunk bed, right? Because, it's dark. Mine is 20 years old, and I'll be 44 in 2 days. I think, yeah. So I was having another sleep paralysis. At this point, I knew what it was. It still was scary because it was like, it was a new feeling, new everything. New consciousness, actually, I found out later. But anyway, felt this woman. Couldn't see her, just felt her. Kind of like she was laying on top of me like this, and feel her hand, her arm on top of my chest, making it as a common symptom of sleep paralysis is your chest is tight, or it's like something sitting on top of it. And it was her, and she was close to my face, and it was very seductive, right? I mean, it was one of those dreams. It was like you just kind of let it go, and it maybe ended well. But she was breathing. I could feel her breath, and I remember feeling sexually aroused. And then I was like, wait. I stopped her, and I was like, of course I can't move. And when you're in sleep paralysis, you're talking, but it almost sounds like, it almost feels like you're going like this, but in your head you're saying, And I was like, why is this happening to me? I asked her. And I remember her, again, can't see her, just the feeling or the knowing, I don't know what it is. She kind of got taken back, and she's all like, you want to know why this is happening to you? Again, I could feel her breath on my face, and I was like, yeah, I did. I really wanted to know why. It felt like I was chosen for something. Or like, it felt like, I don't know, special. I don't know, it's hard to explain. But I did have a feeling that I was supposed to know. So she, as best I can describe it, she gets up from me and grabs me in a sense, and then I get up, and then I go from sleep paralysis, in other words, we kind of see the room around you, to dream world. But a very vivid, colorful dream. I've heard, I'm not too sure, but some people don't even dream in color. I do. I always kind of have, but this is like even a more vibrant color. And I remember getting up, and then I remember the feeling of two consciousness, the feeling of being where I was laying, and the feeling of being where I was standing. And I didn't want to leave, really, my body, but at this point, there's no turning back. So I think I was holding her hand, or she was definitely guiding me. We go across, there's like a hallway to my parents' room, was a door right across my, kind of like a little not a living area, but like a little space, not a hallway, a little space where there's another connection. My parents' room. I opened the door. It was me that opened the door. When I opened the door, it was basically my parents' room with no walls. It was anywhere from 20 to 40 people in there, all just looking at me when I opened the door. And normally I'd get extremely awkward, feel awkward about this because I'm not good with groups, never have been. But it wasn't uncomfortable, was it comfortable? Well, it was just something like they were looking at me, all of them. And I see a guy with a cloak and a beard. And I see a guy with a cloak and a beard, I don't know, I go up and I talk to him, it's just something about me. And I walked up to him, and he goes, go through that door. And the door was my parents' closet door. So I open the door, and I can't explain it.
any differently than having something like this on your whole field of view and just psychedelic wall, like just colors mixing everywhere.
In the 60s, psychedelic everywhere, and I started getting these thoughts and feelings and ideas, and I hear it a lot called downloading information, and I guess that would be it. I don't like that term. I think spiritualism and computers need to just leave one another alone. Anyway, but I was gaining this information. I remember just like being ecstatic, and I remember the thoughts were so profound, because profound thoughts are always simple, right? Like, it's not like you don't have a complex thought. It's very simple. It's like, you are this, and it's like, even though it's simple words, you understand it, comprehend it immensely, right? It engulfs you, that idea. And I remember just thinking, like, wow, why am I sad? What? Nothing matters anymore. And again, well, I don't remember, but I remember that feeling of being like I was taken care of for the rest of my life, and not just this life, but the rest of all lives. And there was nothing to fear. And I came out of the closet, I'm almost like a child, laughing, but I was kind of holding it together, and then I walk up to the guy with the cloak, because he's right there, and he goes, I don't know if he asked me, but I started saying stuff like, hey, this, about what's going on, and he goes, yes, he's all, but you're going to forget. And I almost laughed at him, almost was like, but then I got that feeling, because I like to make people laugh, I like to laugh. Don't laugh right now. I got that feeling. It's like, don't laugh at this guy. He wasn't threatening. I just had that feeling of, don't laugh. Just listen. And he's like, yeah, you're going to forget. He's all, but then someday you'll remember. And I woke up. I remember waking up and I was feeling better. But it eventually subsided, just like he said. And just like in a dream world, I forgot the exact profound thoughts that I got. They just floated off into the wind. And then 20 years later, I guess it was 20, when I was 42, because it was during the pandemic. 41, 42, something like that, 2020. A friend of mine who I told this story to, who I lived with in Alaska 17 years ago, about how I did this, because I kind of knew that whatever that was, it wasn't a dream. It was something else. I've always been interested in alternate states of consciousness. I've always been interested in the paranormal, the parapsychology, cryptozoology, even ufology, stuff like that. Anything that's the mystery of the unknown, anything that is knowledge forbidden, occultism, I've always had an interest in it. I've always studied it. But that was the beginning of the beginning. That was when I read, he showed me a declassified document. I think it's very big, everyone knows it. I'm not even going to say it. I will maybe later, and I read this thing, it's 29 pages, and I read it, and I was like, I think it was the first time of all my beliefs that I had some sort of validation. Now, I understand that disinformation is a thing. It's a real thing that is probably so prominent that we would be astonished if we knew how abundantly we're fed disinformation.
That's the point I'm at right now. Last few years I've been meditating, and if you know anything about meditation, that's when things really pop off. And that's where I'm at right now. So I'm doing this as a dream log. We'll talk about other things too, because I also realize that a dream log is pretty personal. I'm a pretty private person. I know that I'm in front of the camera, but I don't know if you can tell, but I'm extremely nervous, and there's nobody in this room with me. Yeah. So I hope you enjoy it.
That time. I even heard it was 1978 that it started. 82, I think, is when it was written, or something like that. I was born in 78. So that's where I'm going to end right now. And what this vlog is, that it goes through my dreams so I can remember them. And then some of my other dreams, the ones that are not dreams. Hit that subscribe button, and if I get 1,000 fucking views, I can just do this for a living. Isn't that fucking awesome? I'm at a state in my life, a point in my life, and a state of mind in my life that my path is set.